What's some of the most notable people who've been on the platform?
Yeah, we done had some folks, but I think about it. Light Skin Keisha, Fredo Bang,
Dang, shout out
Boy, Rico Cartel, FCG Heem, Low Shimmy, Ghetto Matthew from out of Atlanta, like Smooth Geo. We even did shit with King Sid. The biggest win so far is Trackstar with Mooski. We shot Suki.
Oh, Suki with
yeah, you feel me? But I could say like you can't be out here just winning all the time. Social media is made to just display the wins.
Exactly.
People don't be seeing them L's, so now you go out here taking risks, doing dumb shit to try and get to the next man's W, and it's like, fam, you don't know all the losses that nigga took to get that chain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how many losses that man took for that chain, boy. It's like now you sitting here doing all this dumb ass shit to get you a chain. You finna get murked for that shit, boy.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know what bro done did to get where he at. So it's like that.
All right, we back on the Major Purpose Podcast, man. Today's about to be a good one, you know. I love all the episodes, but I think I'm really about to love this one. I'm really about to love this shit.
Yeah.
Just go ahead, introduce yourself, tell the people who you are.
You know what I'm saying? It's Sauce Mcgraw, man. Co-founder, TRSHMAG, creative director. You know what I'm saying? I'm outside just a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Shit lit.
For sure.
There you go.
What's up, Sauce?
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming through.
Thank you for having me, man.
For sure. What you been up to? What's the deal?
Shit. Niggas been working and shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, just prepping for next year, just getting everything in motion.
Okay.
Trying to build and expand and shit, you know what I mean? Scaling out the business and whatnot.
Right.
But yeah, that's where we at with it.
So like you said, you are a part of TRSHMAG. You are, you said co-founder?
Yes, sir.
Okay. What is it safe to say that TRSHMAG has changed your life?
Hell yeah, most def. Cause I mean, it came at a point where, you know what I'm saying? Like, motherfuckers was in college and it was just like, I mean, college kind of like, damn, bro, like, I'm not really about to do nothing with this degree or none of that. And just trying to figure out what the next play gonna be.
Right.
And then, you know what I'm saying, linked up with my bro, and then we created the TRSHMAG concept, and it was just like, damn, all right, now we got something that's bigger than ourselves, you feel me? And something to believe in. And, you know what I'm saying? Slowly but surely, you know what I'm saying? Putting that time and that effort.
I feel you.
The universe rewards consistency.
That's real. So, all right, for those who don't know, what is TRSHMAG? Talk about, just briefly describe TRSHMAG and its subsidiary, like it's everything under the TRSHMAG umbrella. What is TRSHMAG?
So TRSHMAG is basically like, it's probably like the best platform for new artist discovery, influencer discovery, the whole nine. You know what I mean? Like we've done it time and time again. Like we gonna go viral. You get what I'm saying? Like that's just what we do. So and we can, you know what I'm saying, do it with almost anybody. It's not like you gotta have 1 million followers on Instagram to go viral with us. It's like we do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like we figured out how to do shit. So that's the basis of it. But it's really just giving the basis of it is really just giving folks that opportunity to, like, you know what I mean, put themselves on this platform and open themselves up to a much larger audience, a much larger crowd. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully just move them into different positions, you feel me? Okay, and it's mainly artist-based, you said? Yeah, I say for the longest, it was just primarily focused around rap, you know what I'm saying, and R&B and shit like that. But once we introduced interviews, it changed the dynamic of everything, because now we could work with influencers. We could work with, you know what I'm saying, like the YouTubers, TikTokers, comedians, you know what I'm saying? Like we just started, like, you feel me? We just work with like Pompano Randy and people like that that's known throughout the city, Grandma Baby, like folks like that. So yeah, like.
It's crazy because you really downplaying it. So just with the whole trash, what's some of the biggest wins y'all had with TRSHMAG, or some of the biggest accomplishments? Like whether it's somebody who's on the platform, looking back, like what?
I say the biggest win so far is you know, Trackstar with Mooski. That was one of our larger wins. That was like what really gave the platform like that fire. You get what I'm saying? Like. That was our first viral piece. Okay. And it was like, damn, like, okay, this shit, you know what I'm saying? This shit took off. And then a couple months later, we did it again. And it was like, oh, shit. Then we started doing interviews, and the Grandma Baby interview went viral. And it was like,
walk me through the Mooski, though. How did that come about? And that's when the shit was TikTok.
Yeah,
that shit was at its peak.
Yeah, that whole thing came about from our producer, Des. She, you know what I'm saying, she stumbled across the record. Through TikTok, I believe, at the time. And this was early. Like, I'm talking about, like, Mooski only had a couple thousand followers. And she sent the song through, and it was like, damn, you feel me? I was like, the song is cool, But me, I'm a bride nigga, you feel me? So I went and looked the song up, found it on SoundCloud, and it was sped up. So I heard the sped up version. I was like, nah, this is it right here. Like, this is finna go.
Yeah.
So then, you feel me, contacted his peoples, and then, you know what I'm saying, bro them came down here, shot the shit. And what was crazy is, right when his episode dropped, it wasn't too long after that, like, we shot Suki, so it was kind of like a culmination of shit that was happening at the same time.
Oh, Suki with
you feel me? So, so like, his episode started moving really well, and then Suki dropped, and it was just like, oh shit, just like this crazy momentum was going on the page, and like, yeah, that's probably like one of the bigger moments we've had. But I could say, like, the stride that we've hit this year with everything is insane. Like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like, this year we came into the year with the goal of, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think it was like 30,000 followers on Instagram. We trying to get this much on TikTok, all that shit. And it's like, all of them. We fucked all of them up from like February. All our goals, we were like checking them off from like February, March.
So real quick, back to the Mooski. How many views currently I
don't even know, fam.
Give me a rough estimate.
I'd say probably like 4 or 5 mil, somewhere in there.
How long did it take to hit the first mil? That was the first million video?
Yeah, that was the first million.
And
how long did it take? That one took damn, I'll be capped if I give you a time on that one. Okay. Because that was a minute ago. I'll say it's probably no less than a month at that. Because the record like came out and it was like picking up traction, but it went, and at the time that we dropped, it just added a little push to it. You get what I'm saying? And then subsequently, it just started like picking up steam real fast. So heading into like probably like a month later. Right. I think it was like a month later is when the million views happened. And it was just like, oh shit. 3.7. See, so yeah, it was like, yeah, that shit crazy, fam. It was like probably like a month later it hit the mill, and yeah, shout out to Clean Face and them folks, man, like for even, you know what I'm saying, trusting us with their artists and creating some dope content with them and shit. Yeah, that
is dope. What's some of the other, let's say not A-list, but most notable people who've been on the platform? Such as Mooski and things like that.
Shit, damn, who's some lit people we had? Of course, aside from Suki, we've fucked with light skinned Keisha. We fucked with damn, that's a lot of motherfuckers, bro.
It is though. It's crazy. Yeah. I know you probably got the brain fart, but I ain't gonna lie, I was doing the research. Yeah. And I went on YouTube. I clicked on videos. Right. I'm like, okay, popular, boom, filtered it. I'm looking at the shit like, I'm like, damn, I ain't even see these shit. Like, damn, he done had some. Like, I don't want to name because I'm gonna leave some shit out, but we gonna add it in the clip. Like, nah, you done had some people on the most. Yeah. Like, all right, off the top of your head, give me 2 more. Just give me 2 more.
Shit, damn. Fredo Bang.
Dang, shout out
Hot Boy.
Okay.
Fucking Rico Cartel, FCG Heem. Fucking.
Tough.
Low Shimmy.
Tough.
Fucking God. Well, yeah, we done had some folks, but I think about it. On Ghetto Matthew from out of Atlanta, like huge YouTuber. Smooth Geo. Fucking damn. Shit, we even did shit with King Sid. We just never put that out there. But like,
okay, why that didn't drop?
It was just, yeah, you know how sometimes you grab some shit and it just ain't what you want it to be. So it's like one of them things. Yeah. So it was like,
was it on y'all side or his side? Was it?
More so on our side, I'd say. Okay. Yeah, it was more so on our side. It was just like one of those things where, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like it was like a preparation thing that kind of got missed, and so it was just like, once I got the content back and I was looking at it, I'm like, nah, I ain't fucking with this. So I just.
How does that work when you get content on your platform? Whose discretion is it to, if it comes? Have you ever had that to where someone's like, yo, we don't want that out there? Cut this out.
Oh yeah,
why'd you make this real?
Nah, we've had a lot of times we'll shoot these interviews, right? And of course, these interviews we ask a lot of like off the wall ass questions, right?
Yeah, so we see the clips.
Yeah, you feel me? So we ask a lot of wild shit, and there's times where people may go off on a tangent and dive into certain things that their PR doesn't want them to touch on. So they might touch on like dive into the LGBTQ community, saying certain comments that might be taken the wrong way, or even like a lot of times the number one thing is when people speak on their exes. Yeah, because they be bold as a motherfucker during them interviews. They be talking shit, and then they just like, fam, no, let's cut that out. You feel me? Like, it be. But shit.
Then, okay, so then, is it free game? Are you on? Do you cut it out if they ask, or is it up to you? Like, how does that go?
No. I'm gonna cut it out. You feel me? Because the last thing you want to do is put somebody in a predicament where, you know what I'm saying, it's some bullshit that comes from whatever you put out. Like that ain't our goal isn't to be like on some like exposing folks shit or just exploiting shit. Like that's not us. We more so just like to have fun with it. Right. Like the whole aesthetic of the brand is just some fun shit. So it's like that's why we ask the questions that we do and conduct the interviews the way we do it. So it puts people at, you know what I'm saying, in a really cool state, so then they ain't gotta feel the pressure to do a lot of shit. Like and that's something that's like really cool. A lot of times when we do these interviews, people will just be like, man, this shit is fun. Like, like I love this shit, bro. Like however y'all came up with this shit, we fuck with this shit. It's like a lot of interviews, bro, as soon as they get to going, they be like, man, I fuck with these questions, bro. This shit's hard. So yeah, you feel me?
That's dope. Okay, with the brand, we went through some of, like you said, some of the biggest moment that you remember with being the track star video.
For sure.
Walk me through one of the biggest losses y'all have had with the brand that nobody has seen, because you know everybody see glitz and glamours. Walk me through one of the biggest losses. Damn.
I mean, I say it was actually, it's crazy. It was a loss, but at the same time, it's what set Trash Mag up to become Trash Mag, right? So we had our studio space out here in Sunrise. Yeah. And it was like, at the time, we were just doing music videos to fund everything, right? Okay. And it was like, you reach a point where you're doing this shit, and of course we got a studio, it looked cool, people fucking with it, all that shit, but it's like, you're barely breaking even on the space. And that realization, like, damn, Trash Mag and the studio is two completely different businesses. Like, you can't run Trash Mag and run a production studio. Like, that shit dead. So we were trying that for about a year, and this was right before the pandemic hit. We like, fuck, bro, we just like losing. We done dumped probably like 30, 40 bands into this bit, and it was just like, damn. Just what, like rent and like the whole rent, building it up, all that shit. And it was just like, it was cool because it gave us a place for a lot of people to come in and meet us, and it added like a tangible thing to the brand. But this was early on. We probably didn't even have 2K followers yet, you feel me? But people were fucking with us. And so like that studio was just throwing money in that bitch, losing bread. You losing hella bread, like. Right. And right before the pandemic hit, bro, like my bro came to me and he's like, man, you ever thought if we just said fuck this space? And I was like, nah, nigga, you tripping. Like, this is where we get to come in and be creative, because I'm big on having like a white wall, right? Like not a white wall, but a whiteboard. And this is where I used to like write down ideas, and this is how we used to come up with shit. Okay. And I'm like, damn, you remove us from this environment, I don't know if we'll be this creative still, you feel me? Yeah. And so, you feel me? Like, but bro put it in perspective. He's like, bro, like think about it. If we say fuck this space, what we can do with our money then. And it was like, all right, let's try it out, you feel me? And luckily I had shout out to SoFlo, them boys was like, they was trying to get going with me on the business venture on the studio, like another studio, and I'm kind of like, man, this spot done drain me. I like, y'all boys could hop in on this shit, just take this shit over. Okay. And so they did that, and what's crazy is in that time, like the months before they finally moved into the studio, right? That's when we started doing a performance series, and it was like literally probably like on our last day there was when we shot. We did a performance with this artist DKE. Okay. And then that one just kind of like set us up for like everything that we went on to do, because then that same year we went out to Atlanta for a whole month. Okay. And that month in Atlanta changed the trajectory of everything, you feel me? But yeah, I'll say like that studio was probably like our biggest loss, but like I'm a person, I don't believe in like losses being complete losses. Like I look for wins in them losses, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't about to just, damn, we fucked up, that's it, But yeah, that's about it. Other than that, it'd be like small shit. Like you probably might lose some footage, but we haven't had anything like too crazy. Because the good thing is, bro, I'm surrounded by people who are like, hey, smart. There's smart motherfuckers that's a part of Trash Mag, you feel me? Yeah. And so it's like, there's a lot of things that go on and that happen that we're all like, we probably done thought about a million times before. So there's a lot of situations that we're presented with. It's like, all right, bro, we already know how to navigate this shit. You know what I mean? But yeah, not too many crazy losses on this. How did the talk? Okay, walk me through the start of Trash Mag. So going all the way back. So you said y'all was in a space. What was y'all doing in the space? You said you was doing the music. Yeah, it was like, so Trash Mag in its inception was really a platform that was geared towards visual artists, right? So the idea was we looked at the scope of everything.
Hold on, who's we? Walk me through the what?
My bro Hugs. This is my business partner.
So what y'all always kick it? What's the deal? Y'all just
we
need some shit, bro. Did y'all lock in or did it just how it
So basically it was like this, right? So I started off Sauce Mcgraw just doing music videos, and I started to build a name for myself. Bro was out in Wisconsin. He went to college up in Wisconsin, came back this way. And he was into like the photo stuff, trying to get into the video stuff, all that good stuff.
Right.
And so he's like, bro, like I see what you're doing. Let's link up. At this point, I was only a couple months into shooting. You feel me? And he already had he already had a couple years of experience. And he's just like, man, like let's link up and do some shit. Like we could fuck up this whole music video market because these niggas are ass, and like together we could be fire. And I'm like, I bet, like I fuck with it. So then we started doing. We was like talking about that shit, and we drew up the logo, all that shit, like the whole Trash Man logo, everything. And then it was one of those things where we're kind of like, once things got rolling, we're like, nah, fuck it, there's too many artist-based platforms. This is like Say Cheese at its height. We looking at all this shit. We like, this shit is kind of like redundant. So we're like, let's focus on visual artists. So what we did is we started doing these profiles on photographers, videographers, all that shit.
Like
so,
just all creatives.
Yeah, you feel me? Just really honing in on visual artists, like people that are into fashion, shit like that, creating a platform for them. But at the same time, it was like, okay, how do you fund this shit? Music videos. And so we started doing music videos, and as that picked up, that moved us away from focusing on the visual artist aspect we were trying to build. Because it was like early on, we're like, how the fuck do you make money off this? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you bringing in visual artists, how you can make money off of that? Like, because we ain't fully understand the YouTube thing yet. Monetizing on Instagram wasn't a thing yet, none of that shit. So we like, man, whatever. Ran it up on music videos. Music videos happen.
What's this timeline? Like, how long is it?
This was, shit. A lot of this was within 2018. So I say it was about a period of a year or so between that transition from focusing on visual artists to then just locking in on music videos. And so from like 2018 to like, I say up until 3 months ago, we were just like, you know what I'm saying? Like music video heavy. Like that was something that we leaned in heavy on. But now we're at a point where it's just like, fuck music videos.
But then boom, you going visual art, now you're into the music.
Yeah, and that shift really came when we had this artist from out of New York, Trey YKC. Bro came down, and you feel me, he working with us and shit. So then we got bro on retainer, because you know what I'm saying, like we businessmen first, like we smart with this shit. So we like, let's just, you know what I'm saying, let's create these packages, we create content for you on a monthly basis. So boom, we had, you know what I'm saying, we had an obligation to meet, and bro was on his way to the studio at this time, and we were trying to figure out how the fuck we finna, and this is 2019 by the way, so we're trying to figure out what content piece can we create with him by the time he gets here. At this point, we had just bought a yellow backdrop for the studio.
So y'all had the y'all got the space?
Yeah, we had the space.
Okay.
Yeah, you feel me? We got the space like in 2019. Through 2018, it was just a majority of us just music videos, running gun, doing our thing, and then it was like, top of 2019 hit was like, let's grab space.
So you and your dog put up the bread for that?
You feel me? So 2019 we grabbed the space, got that bit going, and then it was like let me see, going in, damn, what was this? Yeah, this was probably like a year. So 2019 we started working with this dude Trey YKC. This was like December of 2019 we started working with bro. And he was fucking with us heavy. So going into 2020 we was working with him a lot more. And right before, a couple months before the pandemic hit, this is when, you know what I'm saying, we just got this yellow backdrop for the studio, and we like, damn, what can we do with bro right now? Like, how can we, you know what I'm saying, do what we got to do? And it was like, fuck it. We had a mic there. We had all this shit there. It was like, let's, you know what I'm saying, let's just get him a performance video. And we did that, and that shit was just like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when we did that, like, we dropped it. People are like, damn, how can we get on this shit? It was like, like, this is only the first one. And so then we came back around, had another artist who was cool with named Anonymous. Hit Anonymous up. He was like, yeah, I'll slide through. Did it. And we had a couple other people we were really cool with. By the time we got to our third episode, we're kind of like, all right, this is becoming a thing that we can build for real. You feel me? And this is like, all right, for sure. What can we really do to capitalize on this? And so my bro, Bon La Vie, he's really close with this artist DKE. And put us in contact with DKE, and we like, bro, like, come through, perform an unreleased record for us one time. You feel me? And so this was this was the only time we ever paid somebody to be on our platform, because at this point it was like super early. We didn't have much traction and shit.
Was people paying? No money being lost right now.
Yeah, okay. At this point it was like no bread being made. So it was just like, fuck it, let's go out and let's see what can happen. Right. So DKE comes out, he performs, gives us a unreleased record, and then we dropped that shit. And once we did that shit just started moving. You feel me? Like we linked up with FSO De Niro. By the time we got into like our 5th episode, where I was out shooting a music video, this dude named Map, he's on this, was up in Palm Beach, he was on this little party bus with us, and he's like, yo bro, I seen y'all performance. He's like, bro, one of my dogs trying to get his artist on. Damn. Okay. And I was like, damn, that's quick. And so I was like, all right, for sure, let's do it. Right. So you feel me, a couple of days go by, dude, I guess whoever it was, he gave bro my number. Bro called my phone. It was my bro. Now he's my bro, but it was this dude, Beto. Okay. Beto hit me and he's like, yeah, man, I got this artist that I want to get on y'all shit. Like, I got a couple songs from him and I'll send you his shit, whatever. And I was like, what's your artist's name? He was like, Spot 'em Got 'em. And I was like, oh, okay, bet. Like, I didn't really know who Spot 'em was. I just knew, like, I seen him a few times on Say Cheese, right?
This 2019.
This was 2020.
Damn, but that's when that nigga was.
Yeah, okay, you feel me? He was going.
Came out yet?
What, say that again?
The Beatbox record came out yet?
At this point, no. Beatbox was not out yet. Okay. So he was just like.
But then how many? Okay, what's the presence online for Trash Mag at this point?
At this point, we were probably. We weren't even at 2,000 followers yet, bro.
Damn. Yeah. What about the YouTube? No, like what's
YouTube? Probably only a couple hundred. All that shit. It was small because you feel me. We were just focused on music videos. Right. We didn't really care about the branding side of all that shit. We was just like, let's run it up so we can then focus on that shit.
Before you go into how Spot 'em Got 'em came about, like, what do you think made them want to get him onto y'all platform? Being that y'all wasn't no household name or nothing.
It's because we make good quality product.
Quality product. Okay.
Yeah, you feel me? Like we make quality product, and it was something that people hadn't seen yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a performance series. A lot at the time, the performance shows that were happening were all very like redundant. It's all like this one camera angle or two camera angles. It was just all the same shit. Right. So it was like we came in implementing what we knew from music videos into something that didn't have those, you know what I'm saying, those faculties in it. Right. So now we're doing all these different effects that you would usually see in a music video, but in the performance series. So it had people like, okay, cool. But it was. And what was really cool about it is we're big on like this minimalistic type approach to our content, but still keeping it very clean. So I think that's what was the appeal on that early on. And again, too, like DKE at the time was one of those artists in Florida that like he told us too. He was like, usually when he does something, after he does something, a lot more artists try to fuck with it. Yeah. And he ain't capped to this day. DKE, you ain't lie, boy. That boy did not tell a lie. Yeah. Because it was like after that episode dropped, it was just like that's how the Spot 'em thing happened. And it was just like, damn.
So go back to the Spot. So boom, I got a nigga Spot 'em Got. You Google him and shit. And
yeah, I looked him up on Instagram. And I was like, oh, this nigga lit. I'm like, let's do this shit. And then what happened is too, at that time it was like we got a couple more artists that were hitting us up, and I think the same day we shot Spot 'em Got 'em, we ended up getting like C Glizzy and a couple other like lit niggas from down here. Yeah. And right after that, like Spot 'em I won't say to this day, but at that point, he had the greatest impact on our platform because he took us from being under 2,000 on Instagram to turning us up to like 3, 4K, 5K damn near. Right. The shit was going on Twitter. The YouTube was going. It was like, yo, this little nigga. Like to this day, bro, like we can drop a Spot 'em piece from back then, like a clip, and that shit is gonna go. Yeah. I still feel that's like Spot 'em's hardest record. His song is called No Cooling Kit. I feel like that's his hardest shit. Okay. You feel me? But yeah, like that shit, Spot 'em kind of gave us that push to, you know what I'm saying, to give us that momentum, and then after that, it was just like no looking back.
So then y'all was like, fuck, this what we doing?
Yeah, after that, we're just like, yeah, this what we locked in on. But again, too, this was something we're like, we don't understand how to make money with this yet.
Ooh, damn, you took my next question. So where's the money coming from? You feel me? So when was it at a point where it's like, all right, we got something, we got the names, they coming. How do we make this bread?
It was when around the time of Trackstar.
After or before?
After Trackstar. Okay. It was months after Trackstar, before Gallus took off. We were like, we had a lot of people hitting us up like, man, I'll pay to get on. And like, I was familiar with other platforms that were local. And I'm like, my biggest thing is, don't accept the money too early because you'll dilute what you have going on. You get what I'm saying?
Say that again, cuz. Say it again. He said,
don't accept the money because it will dilute your shit. So we was looking at it like, we're seeing everybody like, yeah, we fucking with this. They got these type of artists on, but I'm like, y'all just taking the bread. That's why y'all shit not really moving.
Right.
We're like, let's quality control. I'm like, there's a certain standard for who we're gonna feature.
All right.
And so playing it that way kind of gave us that prestige. You get what I'm saying? And so we reached a point where all these different people were coming at us and like, man, I'll pay this much to be on it. We'll pay this much to get on it. We'll pay this much.
Right.
It was like, oh shit. But at this point, we went on for the majority of 2021 not making bread off of it as far as like people paying. Like we had started to make money off of YouTube.
Right,
you get what I'm saying?
So it's beating itself a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. But I'm talking about YouTube was just like, there was barely anything in comparison to what we was doing. Right. And so it was like, damn, okay, let's start figuring out how we can make money for real. So niggas like, we spent the summer of 2021 locked in on trying to, okay, let's get some sponsors. Let's see if we get some sponsors involved. Because now we have all these different connections and all these artists. And I'm like, fuck, we can leverage these artists as influencers and get brands to pay us, sponsor episodes and shit. So we was doing all kind of shit trying to figure it out.
It's just you and your dog at this point?
At this point, TRSHMAG is like, we added on our producer Dez.
Okay.
At this point, TRSHMAG was maybe, this was last summer. So we were probably like 6 deep, 7 deep, something like that.
Okay. That's a lot.
We moved fast as far as like when it came to adding people on. And so, you know what I'm saying? Like we locked in trying to figure out how we can get these people to fuck with us.
Right.
And then it was just like nothing was going anywhere. And I'm like, fuck, bro. Like, how the fuck do you make money off this shit? This shit's stupid as hell. And it had me doubt. Those were the moments that I was doubting what we were doing.
Right. Y'all still not accepting bookings at this point?
Oh, no. We flipped the whole game up. We flipped the whole entire thing up to where it's like now we've built the platform up to where we figured out. Well, I'll go back to the story, right?
Okay,
so what happened is we couldn't figure that shit out,
right.
like how to get the sponsorships and shit. But it was through conversations with digital marketers that I realized what was going on. There's a certain lingo that we weren't hip to as far as getting money out of the labels.
What you mean? Talk about it.
So these people would hit us on. They're like, man, I want to get my artists on, et cetera, et cetera.
They put somebody from the label.
Yeah, and then it was one dude in particular. I can't remember the label, but if I ever find your name, shout out to you. You changed the whole game for me. Because he said some shit where he was like, such and such, something, budget. And I was like, budget? Budget, is that the fucking word we've been looking for this whole time? So then I was like, all right, let's test it out. Atlantic reached out to us to get 22 G's on the platform. And we was like, all right, bet. You feel me? Like, we based in Florida, but it was like, we can get y'all to New York so y'all can come and...
What is this? This email or DM?
Email, okay, you feel me? Email type shit. And then it was like, yeah, we'll get y'all to New York. Just let us know how much it'll cost. Like, can we get a budget approved for this, and that? And I was like, okay, cool, we'll pass it along. It was like, oh, shit.
Hold on. Hold on. So budget. So you figured out that the way you were conversating with the labels, it wasn't. How were you conversing? Like, what was it like?
Before, it was more so like,
this is our price, or what was?
It was more like, because we hadn't even gone into talking about price or anything with these labels. We just knew like we had to find a way to flip the script on them. Because the way the labels always looked at it is like
how
they had
they
to leverage.
Y'all? Okay.
You feel me? They like, oh, we finna give y'all the artists that could turn y'all up.
No bread. They not.
Yeah, they're like, wait, why would we pay? They're like, and that was their biggest thing.
But then
like,
when you counter with it, did you guys counter with a money like, okay, this is our budget?
Exactly.
Oh, so, y'all wasn't countering.
No, we wasn't countering at first. We were just kind of like, all right, fuck it, we'll rock out. And then at the time when the budget thing clicked, I started like, at this point, I'm meeting more people from Atlantic, so now I'm talking to these people, and I'm like, yo, could we get a budget approved? And then what they always hit me with, even to this day, is we don't usually pay for content like y'all. I was like, all right, fuck you then. I don't care. You feel me? Like, you can keep it moving there. Go find another platform to fuck with if it's like that. But
when they do fuck with it, let's say, can we get a budget approved? What's the green light? What does that email look like?
Then they're like, all right, bet. We're going to pass the salon and like send us an invoice.
So... Okay. So what's the budget thing? Do y'all make the budget or they make the budget and send it to you?
So basically, it's like we basically tell them how much we charge for our services, and we're like, this is the budget needed for this production.
Okay.
Because we don't look at it as like, this is not a blog. This ain't no blog post. This ain't like you paying to get your artist on Say Cheese or Spiritual World or Shade Room. None of that. This is like, we're actually I think that's the beauty in what we do and why we've been able to move so fast is like we're a production company first. So it's like we don't play them games as far as like, oh yeah, y'all make y'all money on the back end. No, this is a production. Treat it like how you would treat your artists' music videos. Right? You know what I'm saying? It's still a promotional asset. So it's like the same way you can invest to paying like 10 bands for a music video, you can pay us to create this content around your artist. You feel me?
Video content all in.
Yeah, you feel me? So it was like this is just what it is. And so at the time, 22Z, like Atlantic was the first label to ever pay us for our content.
Okay, so you said, can we get this budget passed? They said, well, pass it through. Then what was they sent you an invoice, you said?
Yeah, no, we sent them an invoice and then they paid it. And we was like, oh shit, we got them niggas. It was like, cause it was like, I'm telling you, fam, we was just fishing. We was just like, fam, this shit is hell. I'm like, this shit costs money to keep making it. And I was like, I don't want to shoot music videos anymore to fund this shit. I hate music videos, but it became at the level that I wanted to produce music videos at. It was like, it was taking too much away from everything else we're doing. It's like, how the fuck can we make this particular product make money so outside of YouTube?
Focus could be on
that
product, right?
And so, you feel me? Motherfuckers was like, once Atlantic paid that, was like, damn, this is it right here. This the lingo. Like, just always ask for a budget. And then, to this day, that's the formula.
So do you feel like it's a way of how you talk? Because I feel like a lot of times that does happen, especially when you trying to get money for real. Like, it's not like just hand in hand, like, oh, this, that, and the third, cash behind it. When it comes to these labels and real companies and shit like that, like, the language is just different. Like, and I feel like they try to play us and place a certain type of people because it's like, just because I speak this kind of way or I don't have this, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the vocabulary to where I could, like, freak it. They gonna try to play you, and I hate that shit. And it's like, somebody, if you know how to talk and you got vocab, you could talk your way into anything. Like, you could. That shit is crazy.
But yeah, man, it just boiled down to that, bro. Like figuring out that lingo,
right?
And then ultimately just finding ways to kind of like spin it on them every time they'll hit us up. Like, because at this point, we were getting flooded with emails from digital marketers. Because that was another thing too, was figuring out who at these labels can get us paid. You know what I mean? Because it's like, the managers can't do shit for us, so it's like, who can actually get us paid?
So are y'all reaching out to the labels?
No, at this point, we're not reaching out. This was just the labels reaching out to us, and we're just like, damn, okay, cool. So I started, you know what I'm saying, looking through these emails, and I'm like, it's the digital marketers. They're the ones that keep hitting us up. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's flip the script on them. Like, every time they send us an artist, I'd be like, oh yeah, we fuck with this nigga. Can we get a budget approved? You feel me? And then eventually it became like, at first it was like, no, we don't usually pay for stuff like this, and then it became okay, bet. Just how much do we need to get approved? And I'd be like, all right, boom, this much. And they'd be, all right, give me 2 days. I'm like, oh, I love it. You know what I mean?
These companies, they got this money. They need to spend this money, bro. These big labels,
facts.
Like, a budget approved. Like, if you in that corporate shit, you know, they just be spending money.
Yeah.
Like, they gotta spend the money. They need, like, it's out there.
Facts. The only thing that kind of sucks though is more so like when it comes to a lot of these artists that we fuck with, these labels do have budgets set aside just for marketing. And so that's where we win at, is tapping into their marketing budgets.
Right, that marketing department.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
Because they'll be like, oh yeah, like we started working with Def Jam. You know what I mean? They'll keep it straight up. They'll be like, yeah, we just got this kind of budget for this artist, and we're able to, you know what I'm saying, fit you guys into this budget and shit like that. So it always works like that. Or like we have shout out to this shorty Shauna. She works at Atlantic, and she's the one that she fucks with us heavy. Like she been feeding us consistently. You feel me? And she works with 1017, all that shit. So she brings us a lot of talent through there. But you feel me? Like, she was one of those people at first that was kind of like, nah, we don't usually pay for content like that. But then it was like, as people started to see more platforms like ours pop up, and they were following a similar thing where it wasn't like, nah, we not finna just take whoever you send for the free. Like, y'all boys gotta pay for this shit. Then the label's kind of like, oh, this the game we playing.
We might as well go with the...
you know, we really gotta pay for it. But like, to this day though, it's one of those things though. Like, most recently I had who's this? It's some PR company that represent like Nardo Wick and a couple other artists. Okay. And it's one of those things that kind of fuels me. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro hit me and he like, yeah, we trying to get this artist on. And I'm like, all right, can we get a budget approved? The bro like, oh, we don't pay for stuff like that. And he's like, he gave me a whole rundown. He was like,
this email, phone call?
Yeah, emails. Okay. And like, you know, platforms like this. And he's naming all these platforms that are bigger than us, right? And he's like, we don't ever pay for anything like that. We give them the artists and then they make their money off of YouTube, all that shit. Right. And I was like, I ain't gonna give a fuck about none of that. Because what was funny is one of the artists that he was like, oh, we don't pay for stuff like that. I was like, his label just paid for him to be on that platform 2 months ago. If you would actually did your research, you wouldn't be talking to me like that right now. Like,
so he was part of that's another thing. These artists, like, it's different.
Yeah, it's all different. These artists don't be knowing what's going on.
Right, yeah.
And even the managers sometimes, because there's times where managers may come with an artist and then they'll be like, oh yeah, I got a couple more artists I want to swing by and have them on y'all shit. And we be like, all right, cool, like, just, you know what I'm saying, get a budget together and we can make it work. And they be like, what? You gotta pay for this. Whole time they don't know, like, the label is who paid for y'all to even be interacting with us. Yeah. You feel me? So it'd be shit like that, you feel me? And then it's kind of, it's tough navigating that space sometimes because a lot of times these labels don't, depending on who the marketer is, they don't have close relationships with the artists and their managers, so then it'd be a whole disconnect and shit. Right. Yeah, shit like that.
That's major. I ain't gonna lie. You get, like, to get paid being a creative, like, how, for someone starting off, or just with, let's say, music videos, how you was starting, how you said, how do you monetize being a creative, for any creative out there who's trying to be creative and work, how do you monetize that? Do you focus on the monetization of it to where, okay, we need to make money this way, X, Y, and Z, or do you just focus on, let's say, the product itself, like money will come, don't think about it? How do you monetize your creativity? I'm
big on, like, I don't really worry about the bread. Like, the money is not my thing. Like, I'm not a money driven person. I'm more so about the passion behind, like, what we do. You know what I'm saying? So I urge people to just focus on, you know what I'm saying, finding that purpose and lock in on that and just create behind that. You get what I'm saying? Because I'm like, eventually the money's going to come one way or another. You feel me? Okay. But, you know what I'm saying? Of course, there's that time where you kind of like, all right, how can we really make money with this? And the reality of it is, bro, just put the shit out. I shit you not. Every type of distribution there is, just put it out. At some point, you'll be able to make money with it. Right. Whether it be YouTube, whether it be TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is, just put that shit out. You'll get paid at some point. You get what I'm saying? Like Instagram, we weren't getting paid from Instagram for a while until we got, like, our first video that went for like 8 mil. Okay. You feel me? And then right when we did that, it was like, oh shit, Instagram paying niggas now. You feel me? And then it was like, YouTube was just putting content out. It was like, oh, YouTube paying niggas. TikTok, the same deal. It's just like, all right, bet. All you got to do is just keep creating content that we like and push it out. But there is another level to it where you know what I'm saying, where you start looking at sponsors and shit like that. And that's something that we're trying to grow into. So you feel me? But as far as like somebody who's just starting out and trying to figure out how to get into the swing of making bread off what they do, is like, you'll fuck up worrying about the bread. Because now your content isn't genuine. Now you're just creating content for the sole purpose of the money, and you're eventually going to run out of ideas around whatever you're trying to do. Okay. As opposed to just, like, putting that passion into being creative and, you know what I'm saying, genuinely building your shit. True. You feel me? Because once you do that, you're going to create some fire shit that people actually want to fuck with. Right. You feel me? Like...
But let's play devil advocate. If you're back against the wall, you feel me, this is the way you eat. Like, do you feel like you fucking up? Because even... I want to say I struggle with this, like, just transparently, like, it's like, damn, am I focusing too much on how to make money, or instead of just, like, focusing on the art itself, like, I guess you got to find that balance.
Yeah, I say, like, focus on the art, bro. I'm a huge proponent for that. Like, focus on the art, because at some point, bro, you remain consistent enough with some shit and you keep putting it out. Yeah. The eyes that's gonna pay you, they gonna come across your shit. Right. You get what I'm saying? It's like at some point that shit gonna hit. Like, even with that's part of the focusing on the money though. Because let's say if I'm focusing on the money, step one might be get the eyes. See, like but it's not. You don't want to. You never want to focus on the money game. Okay. It's never about the bread. Because I'll tell you this. Like, if you look at TikTok, for instance, like we here on the podcast, a lot of TikTok videos are a lot of podcast shit, right? And it's like these niggas are able to make the bread just by like posting up this content. I ain't saying that they necessarily chasing the bread. It's just like these motherfuckers just love to sit around and talk, and now you just consistently upload, and
it's gonna come.
Right. You don't ever focus on the bread. Like, I feel like there's a point where it does it does reach a point where you kind of got to figure that out.
Right.
But early on, don't worry about that shit.
Okay.
You feel me? It's just more so like honing in on your product, because this kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about like money diluting shit. You get what I'm saying? And that's what it does. Money could dilute your creativity when that's what you're worried about, rather than the creative side of shit.
True.
You get what I'm saying? It's like, let's focus on this. Let's make this a way more fire product. So then when you are at a point where you like, all right, let's start making money with this.
Because we got the best.
Yeah, you feel me? We for shit show got motherfuckers. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, that's really the way to play it, though. Like,
don't focus on that money.
Nah.
But being that we focusing on the money right now, how much money did it take to start Trash Mag, would you say, if you could estimate it? Because you can't focus on the money, but you do got to put money
have some
into
capital.
your craft. You got to invest in yourself. How much would you say?
Damn.
You personally, and then how much you think somebody needs to. Truthfully, you don't need nothing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
I say, like, because it's for the phases that Trash Mag has gone through. Yeah. It's tricky. Of course, we're on the production side. Production is expensive. Like,
of course,
each camera is costing like, of course, $2,000 minimum. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? So I say easily like close to like 20 bands. 20
to start Trash?
Yeah. Okay. It was like around like 20 racks to really get things like going. This is just more so speaking from the equipment side of things.
Right.
At the point that we then moved into a studio space, that was like 30 bands we had to, you know what I'm saying, put into that.
Oh, that's 20 without the space.
Yeah, that's 20 without the space. That's 20 on like just being able to get out, shoot music videos. And we were shooting music videos and doing shit at a level that a lot of other people weren't doing it at on the local side. You get what I'm saying?
And you think that's because of the production? Like,
yeah, the production quality. Like, niggas, well, y'all boys know y'all couldn't fuck with us, but y'all hold my dick. Niggas know they couldn't fuck with us. So it's just like that. So yeah, it's like, and that was because we invested into lights, we invested into cameras, we invested into all that shit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that type of shit. But for like other types of creators, bro, it's really depending on what lane you in for real. Like, people that's into being behind the camera and shit like that shit gonna cost for you to really, you know what I'm saying, start out somewhere with it. But
right, cause thing you going against studio, like when you see like, let's say these, like real production studios and
shit get real.
Yeah,
shit get really real. But yeah, man.
Okay, last money question. What is the business model on how Trash Mag kind of makes its money now? You said it's not about strictly booking. What's the deal?
You touched on that earlier. So what we do now is we've opened up the platform to being a lot, of course, because we realized there's more competitors in our field now. Yeah. And now it's like, everybody done started doing that shit. Right, everybody making bread off of it. So now we like, okay, we can no longer keep this as a very exclusive product like how we wanted it to. Okay. Now because especially for the purpose of scaling what we're doing, our whole operations, like now we need capital, and like we're not one of those people that's gonna go out and be crowdfunding. We ain't getting no loans, no nothing. We doing everything off the muscle, and that's something that we always have to explain to these labels. Is like, we not backed by anybody. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We just strictly like, everything that's in here is everything that we work for. So now we've flipped the whole model up.
And that shows in the quality too. Like,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
And so now we at this point where we allow people to submit to be a part of different shows and shit. And it's all dependent on like, if you meet certain things that we're looking for. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So like our performance series used to be closed off. It was only open to a select few, but now we open it to where you can go to our Instagram, hit the bio, sign up, and like we'll listen to it. If we fuck with it, we'll tell you, I bet, here's how much you got to pay to get on. You feel me? And that's how we play it. Okay. So even with the interviews, all that shit, it's like now it's a more open platform for people to take part in, as opposed to like a year ago. A year ago, like most motherfuckers didn't have a chance. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, you might have a chance, just because now we're at a point where the platform has moved along a lot further, and now it's like we can entertain people that we probably wouldn't entertain before, just because we know like this would be the opportunity to put somebody else on. Right. You get what I'm saying?
Like the brand, like you built it to where the value is at a point to where you can't dilute as much.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Okay. So yeah, that's really how we play. And then that's the beauty in the interview series, is like, it gives us the opportunity to interact with people that we probably wouldn't interact with before. You know what I mean? Like seeing just what it can do. Because like probably like a month or two ago, it was this kid, bro, like he's honestly wasn't somebody I would ever have accepted to be on the platform as far as the interview series go. Okay. Bro had like 5,000 followers, interaction was mid, and I'm like, I don't know about all this shit. And then I was like, you know what? Let me take a shot on it. I was like, if our platform is really lit, we should be able to turn this shit up.
Right.
And lo and behold, we dropped this content. In about a week or so, bruh hit 1 million views. Boy done gained like 1,000 followers and all that shit. And it was just like, damn, like this is fire as fuck to see. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So the impacts of it is like, it's crazy.
That's dope. So how do you before the money and shit? How do you network to get those people on your platform? Let's say just like famous.
Oh yeah.
Famous people. How is that? What's that like?
It was really a lot of reaching out.
Reaching out.
Yes, via DMs. So everybody's accessible.
DM. That's the tip you give,
bro. DM. Everybody's accessible, bro.
For sure.
That's all it is. Cause it's like how we would do it is, let's say we identify somebody that we want to fuck with, and we're like, all right, you're like this type of artist that we've had before. Okay. So then we'll just send them that person's episode and be like, yo, you feel me? Or if we peep that you follow this artist, we'll be like, yo, fuck with it. Or if we ever peep you in our likes, our comments, we'll just send you the shit and be like, yo, come on. And then, yeah, it still works to this day. Like, of course, now, a lot more of the people we fuck with is, like, they come to us. But in those instances where we do reach out to people, it's still the same formula that we've been following for, like, a year now.
Mainly DM.
Yeah, just DMs, you feel me? And a lot of the people we do get now is just, like, it'll be, like, a lot of artists and influencers that DM us. Like, yo, I'm trying to fuck with y'all. I want to da-da-da, like, shit like that.
That's cool. All right, I feel like we did the Trash Mag and shit. Well, who's Sauce, man? Talk about before you said you had the camera and shit. What you was like growing? You from Broward and shit, right?
Yeah, most definitely. Born and raised. All that. Went to school, Lauderdale High. You feel me?
Lauderdale. Fort Lauderdale, Flying L. Okay.
Yeah, Flying L. Shit, I hate it. But no, man. Yeah, I was at Fort Lauderdale. You feel me? Did my thing there.
What you doing? You was like. Went to school and shit? College?
Yeah. I went off to college at FIU. Okay. That was cool. That was a fun little experience. All that shit. But yeah, man, like for me, my biggest thing is like I always just been into being a creative. Cause ahead of the video stuff, I was making music and shit. Right. So like I always had like since I was a jit though, I've always had like this creative energy.
Was it like in retrospect, you like damn, looking back at it, or did you always know it while you were doing it?
It's like while I was doing it, I just knew like I'm not cut out to be one of these like people, because the way coming out of high school, the way I always looked at shit was like, I feel like life after high school is kind of like you got like this like, you know what I'm saying? Imagine like it's like this huge corporate building, right? Like it's this big ass building, like 100 floors, right? And it's like you come up out of high school, the point of life at that point is like you got to find your place in this building. Like whether you're gonna be on this floor with these kind of people, you're gonna be on this floor with these professionals, whatever the case may be. That's how I always looked at it, and I was like, I'm not one of those people that wants to be in the building, period. I was like, I don't give a fuck about the building. I'll burn that bitch down if I got to. Like, that's how I always was. I was like, I don't like conforming to shit. Like, I'm not big on authority. I don't like authority. I don't like people telling me what to do. So it was like,
you gotta be here this time. But how, like, did your people, was that like, did you express that? Or was it?
I mean, my people's kind of got the sense of it. Just like how I was growing up, I just didn't like. I'm like,
give a fuck.
Yeah, I was like, a lot of that shit ain't for me, bro. Yeah. Like, but it was like, I was in school. I did my thing. Like I did what I had to. You feel me? And even like ahead of diving into the video stuff, I worked a job through college, the whole nine and shit like that. But it was just always like in my mind, bro. I'm like, I'm not one of these people that can fit into that corporate building that I imagine. I'm
like, the rest of your life.
Yeah, I'm like, cuz it's not me, bro. I'm not a 9 to 5 ass nigga. It's nothing against people that work 9 to 5. It's just like, for me, I just know like, I'd rather take losses to build out what I want to make sure I can spend my time how I want. You feel me? So, yeah, I like fuck all that and just started, you know what I'm saying, honing in on being creative. And it was like doing the music thing. I have fun with that shit. And then it was like, it was really, I had like, you know what I'm saying, ran into some legal trouble. And it was really that right there that created the transition from music into video. Cause I was like, you feel me? I'm looking at it. I'm like, damn, boy, like white people can control your life.
What you mean?
It was more so like you feel me? Got arrested, shit like that. Yeah. And it was just like,
what was the deal? What you? This in college or high school?
This was senior year of college, bro.
You an adult, bitch.
Yeah, it was senior year of college, and I'm looking at this shit, and I'm like, damn, bitch, like a motherfucker could tell you like what you doing is illegal and just change everything for you.
Put that mark on.
Yeah, and I'm like, they could just change your whole shit up.
So then what did that do to you? You say
it just like, it ignited a fire, I ain't gonna lie. I looked at it like, bro, I would not have a motherfucker be in control of my shit ever. Like, I don't like that feeling where it feel like, because they wearing a badge or they got a certain position within that corporate building that they mean something. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about it.
How did that transfer you? You said that made you go from music to videos?
Yeah, it was just like...
How does that correlate?
It was like because music at the time, it was kind of like, when you're a budding artist, you're not making bread.
At all.
You're not. You just kind of out here pumping bread into this dream and hoping that it gets somewhere. And I'm like, fuck that, I need money right now. Like, straight up. I was like, we got to get to it. So now I'm like... And really, it was more so like, I started doing videos so I could fund... doing studio, like going to the studio and shit like that. And then it was like, as I was doing that, I'm like, damn, I kind of like this more. Right. You feel me? And it was like, even getting into video, I realized like, at each point I'm realizing it's another thing that I'm actually into. And like where I'm at right now, I realized it was just really creative directing. Okay. You feel me? I'm like, I love that shit. Like being able just to overlook shit and just come up with concepts for shit and like that. And it was like, it's something that was like, when I was making music, a lot of times for me to write a song, I'd have to visualize something. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, it was easy for me just to jump in the video because I was like,
this how you want it.
Yeah, I'm like, this is easy. I can do this shit all day.
Yeah.
And so that's why it was so easy to transition into that. And then from the music video shit into what we're doing now, it was like, it's just creative direction. I was like, music videos is all about creative direction.
You was editing the music videos, all that shit?
Hell yeah. I edit, Okay. I was fucking that shit up though.
You still be editing the live performances?
I don't edit the live performances anymore. Okay. I have one of my partners, he does that, but
do you still be editing and shit?
I edit the interviews. I handle all the interviews. The performances, I edited like every performance up until maybe around last year. I had another editor that was doing it. Mm-hmm. And then occasionally, like I would handle up on certain episodes. Okay.
What program you be using?
Final Cut.
Final Cut?
Yeah.
Hell nah, Premiere, nigga. You tripping?
Why?
Honestly, just because that's what I know.
Yeah. What you got? You got a PC or like?
Nah, Mac.
Yeah, you tweaking, folks. Like, ain't gonna hold you.
But when you get into like the real studios, is it? I think it's Final Cut. Like it's like the official standard of like.
I ain't gonna lie though, it's a lot of, this is my thing about like, I'm again conformity, right? A lot of people,
we on some nerd shit.
A lot of people come to me and they just like, man, if you really want to be a professional like this, you gotta fuck with Premiere, you gotta da.
Oh, they say Premiere?
Yeah,
I hear the other way around.
They be telling me Premiere. Like I did some shit with the Hard Rock a couple months ago.
Okay.
And them folks was like, bro, if you really want to do this professionally, you gotta get on Premiere and shit. And I'm like, nah, I ain't trying to do this shit professionally. I ain't gonna hold you. And then like they showing me what they do and all this shit. And for me, it's just like Premiere on some like nerd shit. It's not best for your system because you got a Mac.
I think it is Premiere. Now that you're saying that, I think Premiere is like
that's the standard that a lot of people go with, and it's just like that shit.
But you said it's not good for your what?
Because you got a MacBook. It's like
Premiere's not good, like the processing and all that shit.
Okay. I know your shit crashed like a motherfucker. I know you be going through it. I know everybody that got everybody.
My shit been crashed before, but like
everybody
your shit been crashed before.
Yeah, but not that bad. Everybody go through it. Everybody be going through it.
But that's all I know, bro. For me to learn a new program, it got me fucked up. So,
I'm gonna say though, like this, it kind of goes back to one of my biggest things in life, right? It's about being uncomfortable with shit. You really grow being uncomfortable.
But how long is the interviews?
Interviews will typically be like, we shoot roughly for 30 minutes.
30, and it cuts to what?
Cuts to between like 3 to 7 minutes.
Damn. Okay, how long it take you to edit, full edit?
It varies. It could take me anywhere from like 2 hours to 4 hours.
2 hours, you can knock out a whole episode?
Yeah, just because it's like
30 minutes to 7 minutes though?
Yeah, it's because what I do is I'm just going through and I'm just listening to everything. Like, and even if I'm not there when the shooting is happening, it's like I'm gonna still go through, boom, listen to what I gotta listen to and just start putting my clips together. It's like it's a quick process because you got like, for me, coming from that was one of the beauties in transitioning from the music video side of shit. It was like there's certain things that I learned editing music videos to where I was able to start editing music videos within 4 hours. Okay, you get what I'm saying? And once I figured that out, it just translated to even the performance shows. Right, it was like boom.
Because once you're an editor, you can edit like anything. If you edit music videos, you know how to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you can do certain shit. So then it was like interviews was just like. And I had experience like with doing like interviews with other shit, like testimonials for like on the corporate side of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, like documentaries.
Yeah, like little shit like that. Yeah, because like when you talk about when we're talking about Trash Mag and its inception,
right?
A lot of that content was like it's like a docu style content. So it was like us following people, getting B-roll of people, all this cool shit, sitting down interviews and all that shit. So it was like translated what I learned during that phase of Trash Mag to now. It's like it's cake. So now I can sit here and crank out like 2-3 episodes in a day if I want to.
Damn, that's tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I'm like, and it goes back to this, like, as being a creative director is like that ability to really like sit down with the product and like, all right, do this differently. We can make this look this kind of way, all that good shit. So that's why I like editing so much.
That's lit. Walk me through your creative process then. Walk me, like, how do you get into that mode? Or like, everybody has that moment where they get into that. You know, you sit at your workspace, you just, all right, boom, you gotta have, what's the creative process like?
I guess, damn, bro, it's tricky because it's not like, it's one of those things that's become such a routine. So a lot of times when it comes to like approaching an edit, for these interviews, it's not nothing creative that happens really. It's just like, okay, I just know I gotta listen to the shit. But let's say it's like a performance or a music video or something. The way I approach that is more so like, I watch a shit ton of music videos. So I just look for something that'll inspire me and I'm like, all right, it's cool, I fuck with this. Okay. And then it's just like, I bet we finna go all in. Or even more so anything, like I always say this, I'm motivated by like material possession. So like I'll sit here, if I see something, I'm scrolling through social media and I see some fly shit. Yeah. I'm like, damn, I want that shit. Then it just like spark me and I'll get up and I'm like, fuck this bitch. We locked in till I can get this bitch. I swear.
You got a vision board from the shit you want?
It's just like, that's what happens a lot of times, bro. It just really be on some like, I'll see some fly shit. I'll be like, damn, them shoes harder than a bib. I'm like, damn, them shoes cost like $1,200. Yeah. I'm like, how the fuck fuck it, let's get to work. And then I just start, and then that shit be on my mind the whole time. You feel me? So yeah, it'd be like that. Like my creativity is very like, I feel like I'm always in a creative like mode, always like, right. Just from how like I perceive things and like my perspective on a lot of shit, I just always look at it from a creative standpoint. So it's not hard for me to just like get shit going. Right. So it's not like I have
you not on you type shit.
So it's like it's not like I have a process for shit for real. It's just like, it's just who I am now. Like I feel you. I can just, you feel me, at any given moment, it don't matter.
So being a creative, walk me through more personally. We was talking about trash and the biggest losses and shit like that. Yeah. How do you personally as a creative, like everything doesn't hit, everything don't be fired to everybody how you think it is. How do you deal with your failures? Like let's say you spent this much time editing this shit and it don't buzz how you want it. Like how do you deal with your failures?
Man, so the way I am, I really sit down with my, like when we do have those failures or any losses or anything, I sit down with it and analyze it. Like I'm big on like when something goes left, I'm gonna sit down and I have a notebook. Like I keep a notebook with me a lot. Okay. And then I'll sit down and just kind of like, all right, start jotting down shit, certain things
on the failure. Truthfully, I'm not even gonna lie, like just button, like if I have a failure, truthfully, I try my best to like, all right, fuck it, it's in the past.
Oh, see, that ain't it for me.
So talk about you. So you say you lock in on the failure.
Yeah, I gotta learn from it. I feel like you only take a loss when you don't learn from a loss. Right. You feel me? Like if you're able to look at a loss and be like, damn, you know what? This is how I got here. And for me, it was one of those moments was like, again, going back to like my whole legal situation, like getting locked up or whatever. And I was like, damn, this is what kind of got me here. Like doing this shit, that shit. All right, bet, got you. You feel me? And so I kind of just kept that going with everything else that I would do is like, all right, we here at this point, how the fuck we got here? Right. And then now it's like, all right, cool. I learned that this shouldn't be happening here. I can start doing these things to prevent this and all that shit. But I'm one of those people, bro. Yeah. I'm at a point where I invite losses.
You invite losses.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tough because that's how you grow.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, whatchamacallit, I think we had episodes like failures, like it's the gas to
exactly. You don't learn shit when you. It's not that you don't learn shit when you constantly winning, but it's like if you're somebody who's constantly winning and like, you know what I'm saying,
you done lost more than you won. Yeah. Anybody who won or you think is winning, like
they took so many losses.
It's so crazy. Like failure is so necessary.
Yeah, and that's the realest thing ever, bro. It's just like people as a society, we have the wrong perspective on failure. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about like shifting that perspective and really appreciating it for what it is. Because there's certain losses that you can only take when you get into certain positions.
Talk about it.
You got to make a meal to lose a meal. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You feel me? Like,
you got to lose a meal to make a meal. You
shit like that. You gotta. Well, no, not even. Wait. Yeah, you gotta make a meal to lose a meal.
Oh, okay. You fucked me up with that.
You feel me? You gotta make a meal to lose a meal.
You fucked me up with that. I get it. So it's like if you lost the meal,
you had to make a million first. You feel me? If you get into a like, and it was my professor in college that put it in perspective. He was like, if you get into a fucked up car accident, you had to have enough money to even get a car. Yeah. You had to put yourself in position. You got to be in certain positions to experience certain failures.
Right. You
can't lose a meal and you only making 30, 40K a year.
Like the bigger the failure, the bigger position you was already in.
Exactly. And it's like you got to appreciate that. Like, yeah, it's fucked up. Yeah, you took a loss, but my nigga, you know what you did to get there? To even experience that loss? And it's like, I always look at it like this. If I can make a meal and lose a meal, why I can't make another?
Type shit.
I mean, then I'm going to come back and that next meal, I'm gonna keep going now because now I know where I fucked up at when I lost that 1 mil. Now it's like I'm gonna turn that bit to 2.
And then that social perspective or like the court of public opinion is like, he done lost a meal. Bitch ass nigga, you ain't even make a meal talking about the motherfucker who lost a meal.
Exactly. And that's tough. That's the perspective.
You gotta make a meal to lose a meal.
Yes. That's the game, bro. It's like a lot of people gotta like start looking at shit that way. It's like them losses are like you really. My professor taught me to kind of be appreciative of losses. It's like, bro, you really got to appreciate the fact that you were even in a position to do this. Because a lot of people don't get that opportunity to like, you know what I'm saying, build shit up and then lose it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens all day. We see it all day. Like, people lose shit all day, but it's like, man, it had to come from somewhere.
And you got to be that nigga to like push your nuts out there to lose. Like,
exactly. You just got to embrace it and really like, okay, this is what went wrong.
Right.
This is where I could have changed shit up. This is how I could have made this situation better for myself and the people around me and shit like that. You feel me?
That's tough.
Yeah, but that's my whole standpoint on life for real. It's like I look at shit like that. Like you can't be out here just winning all the time.
That's not
it's
real.
Cool. Like don't get it's cool. And that's the thing with social media too. Like that's where a lot of people get shit fucked up at because social media is made to just display the wins.
Exactly.
People don't be seeing them L's. So now you go out here taking risks, doing dumb shit to try and get to the next man's W, and it's like, fam, you don't know all the losses that nigga took to get that chain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't know how many losses that man took for that chain, boy. It's like now you sitting here doing all this dumb ass shit to get you a chain. You finna get murked for that shit, boy.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what bro done did to get where he at. So it's like that. You know, you feel me? Just that's my thing, bro. Just always them losses. Not saying to hone in on it and dwell on it and get down about it. It's more so like look at it for what it is, understand the situation, what led you to that loss, and now it's like, how can you shape back for real? Like, you feel me? And like, that's my biggest thing. I've always done more with my back against the wall. You feel me? That's been my biggest thing. It's like back against the wall, I'm a stunt every time.
Right, like what else you gonna do? You gonna be down bad? Like,
exactly. I don't be taking time to be down about shit. Like I always look at I'm very big on time, right? And I'm like, you could die tomorrow. That's how I see shit. And the last thing I want to do would be spending time stressing over shit that I can't change. You know what I mean?
So
like
you can't change shit you can't control.
Yeah, it's like if the shit happened in the past, let the past be the past. Learn from it, and now you just make sure that tomorrow you execute a lot better, a lot more efficiently.
That's right. Damn, we done got there. That's tough. That's tough. Real quick, last question. Within Trash, you like how do you build a team? For those who are starting on their platform, they probably got they running every shit. How do you build a team and get those people to help you build your platform dream, whatever the case may be? So
it's really it's about having a vision and a clear and concise vision on what you're doing. Yeah. And getting people that are willing to, you know what I'm saying, that understand that vision and they feel like they can contribute to it. Because a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we've had situations where we brought people on board and had to, you know what I'm saying, get rid of some
crazy.
Yeah, you feel me? It'd be like that, but it's really a matter of just getting people on board and really getting them to see the vision and seeing like this shit is bigger than any one person that's here. You get what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that escapes a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like everybody be out, man, nobody want to work together. Nobody, man, shut up. No, it's not that. It's just like your vision ain't clear enough, and your vision is focused around you. You're not creating something that's big enough for everybody to take part in.
Right.
You feel me? So that's what it is. Like within Trash Mag, the way we do it is. That's why there's no one person that's at the forefront of the brand. Like, if you look at the page, there's nobody.
That's what I'm saying. Nobody, like,
yeah, when we
started this shit, I said, introduce yourself. They know Trash Mag.
Yeah.
They don't see your face.
Nah,
like,
you ain't gonna see me like that. Because it's like, I don't believe in putting a face to anything. It's like, bro, this is how you get people to want to be a part of something. Like, if I can, like, get you invested into the vision of this shit and what this shit means and the potential it has,
right,
you can fuck with it. You feel me? And a lot of times, like I'll say this for a lot of people, one of the keys lately for building out like our teams, like respective to like our Florida and Atlanta team, is really interns.
Oh, like, y'all be having interns?
Yes.
How'd that go? Just post a flyer?
Yeah, we drop a flyer and be like, yo, we looking for this kind of intern, da-da-da. And then what I believe in is kind of like, I don't necessarily like to put people in that this is exactly what you're gonna do, da-da-da. It's more so like, what do you want to do?
Yeah.
What do you think you can contribute? And then we'll figure out what role you can play within Trash Mag that can help you get to your end goal.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we're big on like not tying people to just as one thing. It's kind of like we want to help you grow and develop into, you know what I'm saying,
what
being a beast in your own right. You feel me? And it's like, all right, just rock with us for a bit. We'll show you the ropes of what you need to do so you can get to where you're going, and then go about your business. It's like, if you want to rock out with Trash, you can rock out long term. If not, at least during your time with us, you got that experience and learned enough that you could, you feel me, build your own shit out.
That's real.
Yeah, yeah.
And I told y'all this shit was gonna be fire. Appreciate you
man.
coming through, like I said again. To close it out, I'm gonna have my guests just look into the camera right now and say a word or a phrase.
If it ain't trash, that shit trash as fuck. I swear to God.